Hello everybody, so today I will talk about calculus. The topic today is about integration, so now I will show you how to answer ABC. Question A. Capital F as S equals to number 0. So if we put S equals to number 0, so the bottom in here you will got about 0 because the bounds of the top equals to the bottom, so the value of this integration equals to number 0. This is about the theory of integration. Question number 2. So if we want to find first derivative of the function f as S equals to number 2, we need to find first derivative of this function. So if we do first derivative of this integration, we need to find first derivative of number 0. Later that this value in here to replace for t inside this integration. So I will put number 0 in here minus, because this is in the bottom, we do first derivative of negative s square. Later that negative s square will replace for t inside the function in here. So this one you got about 0 because first derivative of the number you got about 0. So we need to simplify this one, and we just got left just like this. First derivative of negative s square you got about negative 2s. Negative and negative you got about positive. Now we have number 2, so we have first derivative of the function in here, so we put number 2 in here, and we need to change for s into number 2 and number 2, and then we got the final answer. So this one you got about 4 multiplied with number 1 you got about 4 multiplied with this one, and inside the square root you will go about negative number 8. And we know that the square root of negative number 1, that's about I that's about complex number, so we change this one into 4 minus 4i multiplied by the number 8, and then the square root of number 8 you will go about 2 multiplied by the square root of number 2, and now you go about 4 minus 8i the square root of number 2, and this is the final answer. And the last one, C. Capital F as S equals to number 1. So if we put number 1 in here, you will go about negative number 1. Now we need to find the value of this integration. So we can use about integration by trigonometric substitution. So I will put about t plus 1 equals to sine z, because 1 minus sine z square we change for cosine z square, and later that we simplify the square root. Next we do first derivative for the both sides, and you go about dt equal to cosine z dz. Next, we need to change the bounds. So when t equals to negative number 1, so we put negative number 1 in here. So you go about z equal to number 0. So when t equal to number 0, so z equals to b over 2. Negative number 1 we change for number 0, and number 0 we change for b over 2. t plus 1 we change for sin z. dt we change for cosine z dz. This one we got about cosine z square. And this one you got about cosine z. Cosine z multiplied by number 1 and cosine z, you will got about cosine z minus cosine z square. And we know that cosine z square we change for cosine 2z plus 1 over 2. And we can put into 1 over 2 cosine 2z minus 1 over 2. The integral of cosine z, you got about sin z. The integral of negative 1 over 2 cosine 2z, we will change into 1 over 4 sin 2z. And the last one, that's about z over 2. And we put the bounds from 0 to b over 2. So b over 2 we put in here and here and here. Number 0 we put in here, here and here. So we got the final answer. You will got about 1 minus b over 4. And this is the final answer. Here is about the full answer of the question in here.